Hell yes. Hell yes, guys. After so many years of torment, after decades of failed adaptation after failed adaptation, after witnessing so many atrocious films trying desperately to bank on the brand recognition of some of these anime, finally, we have a competently made movie adaptation of an anime, manga, and OVA series. Now, is it the greatest film of the year? No, it's not. It has its flaws, and I will address that later in the video, but I just wanted something that was at the very least decent. At the very least decent. And I was pleasantly surprised that what I got instead was a thrilling, very entertaining, fun, solid, coherent for the most part, movie adaptation of an anime, manga, or OVA series. Now, granted, this film had many red flags to begin with. First off, it's a movie adaptation of an anime. Obscure anime for most fans, but an anime nonetheless. And we all know how those have been turning out lately. I've made my opinions of them quite clear over the years. I've not been shy about what I thought about them. And you all know this. Secondly, this film was being made by 20th Century Fox, who, least we forget, 10 years ago, released the well-received and beloved movie classic, Dragon Ball Evolution. Yes, that was 10 years ago. How far we've come, huh? So these are the guys that were going to be making this adaptation, and they thought we were going to forget about what they did back in 2009, but we never forget. We never forget. Not to mention that Robert Rodriguez was directing the film, and the man hasn't made a good film since 2005. That was Sin City. That was 14 years ago. That was the one choice that James Cameron made that I was a bit perplexed by. That was the one choice I was actually questioning. Like, why'd you pick him? Of all of the great directors working out there right now, you chose Robert Rodriguez? I need an explanation. I get that both of you have similar styles. Both of you like over-the-top action, and I believe Robert Rodriguez was heavily influenced by a lot of anime growing up, and he's into technology and CGI much like you are, but the man has not made a good film in nearly 2 decades, yet you're trusting him with this large of a project? Are you kidding me? That's terrifying. So, yeah, I didn't like that at all. And then lastly, the release date for the film kept being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, which brought up a lot of maybe the quality's bad. Maybe they're trying to hide it in February. Oh my God, this might actually turn out to be bad, just like all the other ones. But would I have been surprised? No. If it was bad, I wouldn't be making this video right now because I wouldn't be surprised. It feels like it's just following the trend. But I am making this video because I'm delighted to say that even though all those things are true, even though all those red flags are real, there was one glimmer of hope that gave me confidence in this film. One person who I trusted above all else to pull through and actually give us a decent, solidly made film. And his name is James Cameron, the greatest pioneer. No budget too steep, no sea too deep. It's him. Who's him? Being Cameron. Yeah, you thought I forgot about that song? James Cameron, love him or hate him, guys. Love his films, hate his films, think he's overrated, think he's a snob, think he's pretentious. The man knows how to make thrilling films. The man has a keen eye for action, and he's a perfectionist. I should have thought about why the release date kept being pushed back. I bet you it was because of James Cameron. He probably was looking at the CGI, he was looking at the dailies and like, no, this is not good enough, go back. Nope, this is not good enough, go back. And then the studio's like, hey James, we need to release the film on time. He's like, move the date. And when you're the man responsible for Titanic and Avatar, what you says goes. No exec can ever tell you what to do again. You have made so much money for so many people. They're just gonna give you free range to do what the fuck you want, whether it succeeds or not. Because he's already proven he's a money-making machine. So if he says to push the date back, they're gonna push it back. So I spent 5 minutes just going on. I haven't even talked about the film Alita Battle Angel. So why do I think that this is a solidly made movie adaptation of an anime? Well, for one, the people behind this film, the people making the film, actually understand anime. The problem about all those other adaptations is because the problem that I had with all those other adaptations is that they would hire these hacks, these people who have no idea what anime is like, the tropes of anime, what makes anime so beloved and liked by so many people. They give them this property to make into a film, and of course they cuck it up because they have no idea what they're doing. But James Cameron is a fan of anime. He understands anime. So knowing that he wrote and produced this film, you can trust that you're in safe hands because it's actually coming from somebody that understands anime. And that's one thing that clearly shows when watching this film. It does feel very much like a hybrid of American action film meets anime over-the-top insanity. Although kind of toned down a bit. The action in this film is so much fun to watch. It is exhilarating. And the CGI is very impressive. I will admit, there's still a lot of uncanny valley feelings I get when I see Alita because she looks so weird. And I think that's the closest we're ever going to get to a person looking like an anime character. That's it. That's as far as we're going to get with Alita. Because you do it any further and it's going to look even worse. That's the closest thing to an anime character or a realistic anime character we're going to get. The reason her eyes are so big is to emulate anime girl character eyes. And again, that's as close as we're going to get with that. And I'm perfectly fine. We don't need to go any further. We don't need to cross that threshold. I really liked Alita as a character. She is so interesting. I liked her arc. I liked her development in the film. She's a fun character. And the woman who plays her, I believe her name is Rosa Salazar. She's a relatively unknown actress. I hope she gets more work after this because she knocked it out of the park. She sold me in the role. I thought her performance wasn't phenomenal, but really great. Really good. What else did I like about the film? The action is good. Visuals great. The main actress is wonderful. I liked Christoph Waltz. I will say that he was very hit or miss throughout the film. Like sometimes I thought his performance was really good. Other times I felt like he was phoning it in and it looked like he didn't want to be there. Trying to think. I'd already mentioned how it does feel very anime-esque with the over-the-top action, the fact that many characters go into these expositional diatribes, which is very prevalent in anime. Anybody who's ever watched an anime, you know there are moments where characters just go on these expositional spiels explaining so many things. It's present in here. A lot of anime tropes exist in this film, which makes a lot of sense since it's based off of an anime. And again, made by somebody that understands not only the film that he's making, but understands that genre. Well, I guess anime is not really a genre, but understands that medium, I should say. Understands that medium. But does that mean that Alita Battle Angel is without flaws? Hell no! There is a major flaw in this film, and it's been a flaw that's been prevalent in a lot of James Cameron's films. It has been his Achilles heel since he's started in filmmaking, and that's the romance in this film. It fucking sucked. It sucked hard. And it hijacked the narrative. Every time we're getting somewhere good, where Alita is starting to piece together her past, and she's taking down all these foes, it's like, oh my god, this is really hyping up. The fucking romance seeps its way back into the story, and then that becomes the focus. And it was annoying because, look, if it was done well, maybe I wouldn't have minded, but it was done poorly. It's like I'm reliving Jake Sully and, I don't even remember the girl's name again. I feel like I was reliving that romance once more. James Cameron has not really been good at writing romance. The best romance he's ever wrote was Terminator back in 1984. And I'm starting to believe that that was an accident. Like, that was a lightning in a bottle moment where everything worked out for him right there. But every other romance that he ever tried to write has not been good. I know a lot of people love Titanic and would say, oh my god, one of the greatest romances. It's not really that good. That, I will say, was overrated. That romance is not as good as you may think. But yeah, that romance really sucked. The guy that she falls in love with is such a white, pasty motherfucker, and I don't understand. He has no real charm or charisma. He just feels like I don't even know how to describe him. He's so fucking forgettable. I don't remember his name. I don't remember really what he contributed. I do know there was this twist with this character that really isn't a twist if you know anime and if you know, like, if you've seen enough movies, you'll catch on like, oh, this character's hiding something. Oh, that's what he's hiding. And then they reveal it in the film. Oh, whoa, whoop-de-doo, what a shock. Oh my god. And then the lines. It was so cringy. I felt like I was watching Twilight on screen. One of my coworkers, in fact, he's an intern. His name is Intern Aaron. Shout out to Intern Aaron. We were watching this, and he kept saying to me like, "Oh, it's Robot Twilight." And I'm like, "You shut your mouth," but it felt like that. It was Robot Twilight. These awful lines, the lack of chemistry between them. When you have lines like, "You are the most human person I've ever met," or "I don't want to run away. There's only one place I want to be, with you." Or no, that's not how it is. It's like, "There's only one thing I want to be, together with you." There's a scene in the movie, this is not a joke. She literally, and I'm using the word literally correctly now, she literally hands her heart over to this guy. At first, I thought it was like a test, like she was testing to see whether or not he was trying to scrape parts from her, like she's kind of becoming a sleuth, a detective. But no, she meant it. She was hooked on this white pasty bastard after they kissed once. It's like, oh, now I'm in love. So when she gets an upgrade later in the film and she talks about how now she can feel touch and she's ultra sensitive, and I'm like, okay, we get it. You guys can fuck now. Okay, move on now. We don't need this. Yeah, romance was awful. It's just terrible. What else did Oh, the whole subplot dealing with Motorball, it's really inconsequential. It didn't really need to be in the film. I get that that's the plot device that will lead the main character to get to her goal, but really it just felt like spectacle for the sake of spectacle. That's it. It didn't really serve any other purpose other than that. I really felt like they wasted Mahershala Ali and Jennifer Connelly in this film, especially Mahershala Ali, where I thought he was going to be the main antagonist of the film. He turns out to be this 2-bit crony for another character. He's basically a lackey, overblown lackey. And he's so pathetic in this film. I expected more for the caliber of actor Mahershala Ali is. I thought they were going to give him more instead of this boring-ass villain character that really didn't do much besides spew lines out and be controlled by somebody else. It was really upsetting. They could have done so much more with Mahershala Ali. He really should have been the main antagonist. He should have been the looming threat of it all, not some 2-bit villain that is being controlled by the real villain. And then Jennifer Connelly, she had potential. She really did. And then she has a change of heart out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, where'd that come from? I don't buy it. I don't get it. But whatever, I guess. And then Ed Sheeran is in this film, aka the guy who played what's his name from Game of Thrones? It's escaping me. Zaros? I think that's his name. Wait, I'm saying Dario Naharis. He played Dario for like 1 second. And then they replaced his ass, thank the Lord, because he sucked. And then he was also in Deadpool. He's in the film and he's annoying as hell. I really didn't like his character at all. He just kind of seemed like another 2-bit villain just to add more antagonistic elements to the film, as if we didn't have those already. And it's another side plot that derails the main plot. We don't need his character in the film, really. We could have just focused on the main story. Really cut out the fat. There's a lot of fat in this film that could have been cut out. The romance, Ed Sheeran's character, Marshall Ali being a 2-bit villain. He should have been the main villain. I will say also, I was a little upset by Robert Rodriguez. His style doesn't even show up in this film. Now, maybe that was on purpose because James, like, if you're going to do this film, you got to do it my way or the highway, buddy. So maybe he wasn't allowed to, but I was expecting a bit more stylistically from Robert Rodriguez. I mean, the man has a keen eye for cinematography, especially when it comes to action scenes. But here, they just didn't show. They felt more like James Cameron action scenes rather than Robert Rodriguez action scenes. In fact, you could almost argue Robert Rodriguez is just I wouldn't even say 99 cents, maybe like a 1 peso's version of James Cameron. He's the poorest man known to humankind, James Cameron. He's the poorest man of all times, James Cameron. Really, I think that's all I really have to say about the film. Overall, I'm just happy that it didn't suck ass. It could have been so much worse. It could have sucked so hard, but it didn't, guys. Go see this film. This is the film we need to be supporting. We need more films like this. In fact, you know what? No, scratch that. I'm gonna make a ruling here. From now on, James Cameron is the only person allowed to make movie adaptations of popular anime. Nobody else in Hollywood is allowed to do it. He's the only man I trust to get the job done. Maybe him and Edgar Wright. Those two need to work together and make a adaptation of Afro Samurai. Just something fun. You know, they're the only people I'm going to trust from here on out. I would say that this film is definitely worth watching. Go check it out. Go see it now. Don't sit here and watch this video, hear me talk about it. Go see it for yourself. It's really fun. And I hope one day we're going to get another gem like it. They do kind of hint to a sequel. I would like to see a sequel as long as James Cameron is involved. If anybody else is involved, if he's not writing the script, if he's not producing, if he has no control whatsoever, I'm out. I'm not watching the sequel. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll have a more thorough, condensed version of this video released on the SMG Guam channel. I'm writing the review as we speak. I'm actually at work right now because I have a top 10 list I have to finish before Valentine's Day. So stay tuned for that. I actually have a link to it at the end of this video once it's up and loaded. So, but yeah, if you've seen Battle Angel Alita, do you agree with me? Are you happy that we finally have a competently made movie adaptation of an anime? I know I said that many times in this video, but let me know your thoughts about Alita Battle Angel. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And yeah, I'm really tired. I still got some more work to do. I'm actually trying to get an anime review done. It's actually an anime movie review, as well as a top 10 list on my channel. So hopefully I can get those done. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry this was another long video, but you know me, I love to ramble. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys over at the SMG Guam channel with my new videos. And until then, guys, if you'd like to see more videos on this channel, be part of the Black Critic Group, please hit the subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And until in a second, the robotic man known as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.